welcome back to the deep dive. You know you're here because you want to learn more, and today, well, we're diving deep into plant-based diet.
Plant-based diet.
It's everywhere these days,
Let's
right?
do it.
So we're gonna look at we've got this really interesting conversation to pull from, and we're gonna try to really figure out the most important things to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that's so interesting right off the bat is this isn't just a trend or a fad.
Right.
Like, there are a lot of different reasons why people are interested in plant-based diets.
Right.
Some health, some environmental, some ethical considerations.
Yeah.
A lot to dig into there.
Yeah, and the conversation we're looking at, it starts off with this basic but important question, like what actually is a plant-based diet?
Right. It can be confusing.
Yeah.
Pretty broad term, actually.
Yeah.
But really, at its core, it's about foods that come from plants.
Okay.
So we're talking fruits, vegetables, grains.
Like the basic.
Yeah, legumes, nuts, seeds.
Mhm.
And really focusing on whole, unprocessed foods.
Okay, so not like those like fake meats and stuff necessarily, although I guess those would fit in somewhere.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not necessarily about being vegan or vegetarian. It's really more of a spectrum.
Gotcha.
Some people might eat completely plant-based.
Okay.
Other people might just really focus on making plants the central part of their meals.
So like more of a guideline than a strict rule.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Cool. So that makes it feel a lot more flexible,
Yeah.
whether you're thinking about going all in or just, adding more plants to your diet.
Right.
So let's talk about the benefits, because this conversation really gets into some pretty amazing health advantages.
Yeah, and one of the biggest ones that comes up again and again is heart health.
Okay.
So you've got things like fiber antioxidants,
Hmm.
healthy fats,
Uh-huh.
and these are all things that can really lower your risk of heart disease.
Yeah. The conversation mentions lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and a reduced risk of stroke.
Right. Those are huge.
Yeah, that's like the big three.
And there's actually a lot of evidence to back this up.
Really?
So, for example, that fiber that we talked about can help regulate your cholesterol.
Okay.
And then plant-based foods, they tend to be lower in sodium and higher in potassium,
Mm-hmm.
which can help with blood pressure.
So it's like all these little things working together
Yeah, exactly.
make a big difference.
Right.
I like that. And then another thing that came up was weight management,
Oh, yeah,
which I think is on a lot of people's minds.
definitely.
And the conversation really highlighted how plant-based foods can help with that.
Yeah. So plant-based foods, they're generally lower in calories and fat than a lot of animal products,
Okay.
but they're also very high in fiber.
Okay.
And that fiber helps you feel full and satisfied.
So you're not constantly hungry.
Exactly.
That's always a plus.
And it can help you naturally eat less overall.
So it's not just about starving yourself. It's about feeling satisfied.
Right. It's about making sustainable choices.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. And then, beyond just our personal health,
Yeah.
the conversation also gets into the environmental impact, which is something that's becoming increasingly important.
Absolutely. And I think it's something that we need to talk about more
Yeah.
because the environmental cost of our food choices is significant.
Yeah.
And the conversation highlights how producing plant-based foods generally uses way less land, water, and energy compared to raising animals.
It's just like a resource saver.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, to give you an example, producing 1 kilogram of beef can use thousands of liters of water,
Wow.
whereas growing 1 kilogram of lentils uses a tiny fraction of that.
That's insane.
It's a massive difference.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, and then there's also the issue of greenhouse gas emissions.
Right. Climate change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Raising livestock, it's a major contributor to those gases.
And so eating more plant-based is a way to reduce our impact.
Right. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not just the air either. The conversation mentions deforestation and habitat loss too.
Yeah, because as we need more land for livestock and feed crops, we end up cutting down forests.
Right. Which destroys ecosystems.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It really is.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. The question that everyone has when it comes to plant-based diets.
Protein.
Protein.
It always comes up.
Where do I get my protein?
Right. It's a valid question.
Yeah.
But I think what's so exciting is that there are so many plant-based sources of protein.
Okay.
Legumes are a great example.
Like beans and lentils and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lentils, chickpeas, beans, all of those are packed with protein.
Okay.
And then you've got things like tofu tempeh.
Mm-hmm.
Even quinoa has a good amount of protein.
Okay.
And nuts and seeds,
So like a lot of variety.
tons of variety. And the conversation makes this really good point that you don't need to obsess over getting a ton of protein at every single meal.
Oh, that's good because I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, it's more about getting enough protein throughout the day.
Okay, so like spreading it out.
Yeah, exactly. And making sure you're eating a diverse range of foods.
Okay, so like a balanced approach.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. And then the conversation also touches on some nutrients that we need to be mindful of when we're eating plant-based.
Right. And it's not that you can't get these nutrients.
Right.
It's just that you might need to be a little more aware.
Okay.
So vitamin B12, for example, that's one that's mostly found in animal products.
Okay.
So if you're eating a strictly plant-based diet, you might need to get it from fortified foods or supplements.
Like fortified cereals or plant milks.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then iron is another one that comes up.
Yeah.
Because there's heme iron, which is found in animal products and it's easier for your body to absorb.
Okay.
And then there's non-heme iron, which is found in plant-based foods,
Okay.
like spinach, lentils, quinoa.
Uh-huh.
But the good news is that you can boost your absorption of non-heme iron by eating it with vitamin C.
Oh, interesting.
So like having some citrus fruits or bell peppers with your lentil soup.
Okay, so it's like little pairings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. What about omega-3 fatty acids?
Those are important too.
Yeah, I know those are good for brain health.
Right. So you can get omega-3s from plant-based sources like chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts.
Okay.
And some people also choose to take algae-based supplements,
Gotcha.
which provide the same types of omega-3s that you find in fish oil.
So there are options.
Yeah, lots of options.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like while there are some things to be mindful of,
Yeah,
it's definitely doable
absolutely.
with a little planning.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Now, for someone who's listening to this and thinking like, okay, this all sounds great,
Yeah,
but how do I actually make the switch?
right.
The conversation has some really good advice on transitioning.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right.
You can start small,
Okay.
maybe try having one plant-based meal a day.
Like Meatless Monday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can gradually increase the number of plant-based meals you're having
Okay.
as you get more comfortable.
And like learn new recipes and stuff.
Right, because there's a whole world of plant-based cooking out there.
Yeah. And there are so many plant-based alternatives now, too.
There really are.
For meat and dairy and everything.
It's easy.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to make that transition.
Definitely.
But the conversation also emphasizes the importance of focusing on whole plant foods.
Right.
Like
Right.
beans, grains, vegetables, fruits.
Yeah, those should be the foundation of your diet.
So it's not just about like, you know, swapping out a burger for a veggie burger.
Right.
It's about like really building your meals around those whole foods.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Mm.
And the conversation really stresses that it's a personal journey.
It is.
It's about finding what works for you
Absolutely.
and your lifestyle and your health goals.
Right.
So there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. So let's kind of sum up the key takeaways from this deep dive.
Okay, so we learned about the benefits of plant-based diets for our health and for the environment. We talked about how to get enough protein on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And we discussed some key nutrients to be mindful of.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about how to make the transition to a more plant-based way of eating.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is, but it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so for everyone listening out there, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Think about just one small change you can make in your next meal to include more plants.
Yeah.
Maybe add some beans to your salad or try a plant-based milk in your coffee.
Or have a vegetarian dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Little steps.
Just experiment a little bit and see how it feels.
Yeah, and you never know. You might discover something you love.
Exactly. All right. Thanks for diving deep with us, everyone.
See you next time.
Bye.